I've been on a quest to discover what the best Bomberman game is. Seriously, look at them. They play similar to each other, and nobody can seem to make up their minds on which one is the best. All you do is lay down bombs in a grid playfield and catch other players in the explosion. But then you start placing your bombs next to your opponent's bombs, see the chain reaction that you caused, and the fact during the early 90s it was one of the few non-sport multiplayer games that could be played with more than 2 people. It made for some intense firefight battles, which allowed Bomberman to be a frequent host of many multiplayer nights. Yet still the question remained, what was the quintessential Bomberman game? Once the mid-90s rolled around, we saw Bomberman wreak havoc on several game platforms with an exclusive game on each one, including his first foray into 3D gaming. During this time also saw the release of a game that played up the 2D strengths of what was considered the traditional Bomberman experience while providing fantastic and colorful visuals in one of the most fragile CD cases ever known. Saturn Bomberman, developed and published by Hudson Soft in 1996 and published by SEGA in the West in 1997, is one of the cherished multiplayer entries in the Bomberman franchise. The story of the main game is not of any importance to us. In fact, if you're wondering who these guys are, frankly you're watching the wrong video, as they aren't even responsible for the game's high price in the aftermarket. All of this artwork and opening FMV seems to be ignoring the fact that this game supports a whopping 10 players. However, the Sega Saturn by itself, like many other consoles at the time, is only capable of providing a maximum of 2 players. Achieving more Bomber recruits requires a multi-tap adapter, which can connect up to 6 controllers. Using one adapter in controller port 2 allows 7 people to play, with a second adapter allowing 3 additional players to join in. I was able to round up several friends to play the game with: Chelsea, Randy, Josh, and his roommate Chance. I was also able to get my friend Ali as well as Chris, who you may remember as Captain Kangaroo from an earlier video. It's not quite 10 players, but one thing to keep in mind about Battle Mode is that the maximum amount of players is separated between the Single Mode, which allows for 8 players and features several gimmick stages, and Wide Mode, which allows for 10 players, but only offers one stage to accommodate for the player count. After a lengthy play session, I sat down with a few of them to talk about the game after a night of pizza and booze, to talk about their thoughts and favorite moments. Just curious if y'all have ever played Bomberman before, if you have like a personal preference or anything.
Yeah. I've only played the one that I played with you and Josh. I want to say it was on the NES?
I think it was Super Nintendo.
It was Nintendo.
Super NES.
Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Game Boy.
Yeah. You played the Game Boy one?
Yeah.
There is one on Game Boy?
There's
Yes.
several of them on Game Boy.
Shit.
But yeah.
I'm gonna say Game Boy 97.
Yeah. I mean my first one was like the Super Nintendo one. Or not the Super Nintendo one, no, the Nintendo 64 one. That came out around launch. But it didn't play like a traditional Bomberman game. Instead, it had like 3D explosions, and a lot of people find that their favorite. But I don't know. Like I have a greater appreciation for the 2D ones because I feel like there's a little more strategy involved. But
once you get the hand throw,
yeah,
and everything,
yeah, like
it gets
I mean,
crazy.
you have to build up all the stats for this one, but for like Bomberman 64, it kind of gave you some of that stuff. But
yeah.
What did you think, Randy? Or like, what's your choice of Bomberman, or at least one that you played before?
There was... I think there's only been... No, there's 4 by now that I've played. I did play the 64 one as a kid. I wasn't a big fan. Maybe if I played it now, I would be. The Super Nintendo one that I played with Chance and everybody, I've played that. I have one downloaded to my PS3 hard drive. That's a PS1 classic.
Oh, okay.
Not liking that one too much. It's kind of awkward game. But my favorite might be the one we just played.
Yeah.
10-player thing's a big bonus.
Yeah.
It looks good.
There's a few more little options and power-ups. Fun stuff.
Yeah.
Plus the characters.
Oh,
like having all the
Yep.
characters.
How about you, Chelsea?
I didn't play a lot of Bomberman growing up. I played, I guess it was the Super NES was the earliest version that I played. It was a few months ago.
Yeah.
And even though I didn't play today, I felt like I was in the game because it looked like a lot of fun. And I enjoyed watching y'all play.
Yeah. That's right, you didn't play at all, so you're on this
No.
round table for some reason.
Yeah, I'm just here for moral support with my broken hands.
Yeah, you joined in, but you couldn't play, but we definitely do appreciate your moral support in watching us. But
Color commentary.
exactly. Yes, the colorful.
It got pretty colorful.
I remember that Bomberman 64 is not the first Bomberman game I played. It was actually Mega Bomberman on the Genesis through this old service called the SEGA Channel, where you could download these games.
I remember that.
Yeah, like you had a through a cable service, you could just download the games and you can play whatever you chose, and they would rotate them monthly. And I was blown away by Mega Bomberman because you could play it with 4 people, but I never had the 4-player adapter or anything. But me and one of my cousins.
People.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'd had a cousin who would come over and we would try and play the 2-player mode, or we would just watch the computers duke it out because, when I was a kid, I was like, I watched my dad watch these guys play basketball every Sunday. It's kind of like that.
Sports.
It's exactly like that.
Yeah.
Why not?
So Saturn Bomberman is a pretty. Ranks up there with one of the games that people really love the most, and obviously it's for stuff like the 10-player, all the wacky power-ups that you get to deal with, and just all the chaotic nonsense, and it seems to have more features than some of the previous Bomberman games, but
Wish we got all those.
yeah, like the last time we did an episode where we were doing Sonic and SEGA All-Stars Racing, we had all those SEGA stars, but now we had all these Hudson characters, but I don't know if anybody at this table really remembers anything about Hudson.
Just Bomber because
Just the guy off the dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's also Master Higgins from Adventure Island, and there's a few other characters. Like, there's other characters, but I couldn't tell you where they came from.
I mean, the Higgins
And that
look,
says a lot.
the Master Higgins looked like a John Cena avatar. Like the one from last year that had the Gatorade colors, the orange and green.
It's Master Higgins. He's got a giant jawline.
He's
It's like Lone Star Runner.
Super underbite.
Yeah.
He's a dentist. Like immediately.
Krillin deserves his push.
Wait, that's not Krillin?
He's been waiting 20 years. He's been waiting like
Not that
almost
one.
30 years.
I mean, it looks exactly like him.
He's been waiting almost 30 years for his big push. Who is coming?
Who's blue hair? Fuck up.
Who's your MVP of the Bomberman characters you play?
Jeez, I don't remember his name, but he's the one with like the he's the young one with like the purplish blue hair or whatever.
Oh, the one
It
you've been
wasn't
using.
Kabuki.
The one you've been
It's the one right below Kabuki.
Kotetsu, I
I
think.
wanted to think to say it was Kotetsu.
Yeah. If not, I can correct it on the screen right now. With
Yeah.
Manjimaru, I told.
Just to give you a hint who my favorite was, it was Kotetsu.
Oh, which one's Kotetsu again? Is it the?
He was Bald Samurai Man.
Oh, okay,
Not the
yeah.
Krillin looking one, but it's a tie-up between him and the Black Bomberman.
Yeah.
The Black Bomberman's my spirit animal.
Black Bomberman's my favorite because
Good choice.
he just doesn't give a shit. That's what it's really all about.
Yeah.
Yeah, Black Bomberman don't play.
In the regular Bomberman series, you would just have different colored Bombermen, but I think it was a pretty clever idea to just use different characters. The thing people kind of forget about is people who are colorblind may not be able to play the game well, especially when you had that wide-angle 10-player view.
It got kind of crazy.
It can get really insane. But yeah, like, kind of miss that there's not multicolored Bomberman here, the rainbow of Bomberman, but this is a pretty smart choice, I think.
Plus, you can never go wrong.
I mean,
with
that being said, it would be nice if it was possible to have different colored Bomberman. But
Yeah.
but yeah, out of the two though, this is better. But Nice to have both.
Yeah, exactly. Chelsea, who is your spirit animal that you could play as if you could?
Oh man, I remember watching the cowboy-looking character a lot.
Miss Honey?
The cowgirl.
Oh yeah, Miss Honey.
Yeah,
The one you thought
I thought
had
there was a boy too.
It said Miss Honey in the name.
She's saying.
You said that
Voice
she
The
had...
one with the stink lines.
Yeah, you said
Yep.
she had stink lines, but I guess it's because the high definition composite video that we were looking at just looked like...
It caught her odors.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the characters don't have any special attributes, so it's just whatever character looks the most interesting, and that
That
one
you
seemed
can
to
keep
catch
your
my
eye on in a maze.
Yeah.
It's most aesthetically pleasing visually,
Yeah,
apparently, because I just kept watching that one character.
exactly. What did you think of the Saturn Bomberman as a whole? Like,
Honestly, I was really pleased with it because, like I said, I played the other one with you guys a while back, and I liked it, but I got bored with it quickly. This one, I kind of wanted to keep playing. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, even though it was kind of like the same thing over and over, it still always felt fresh because there was always something crazy happening.
yeah,
So
And
I
there
felt like
was
it was
a
lot
thing
more chaotic.
specific to each level that was
Exactly.
get good
Yeah.
at this.
Yeah.
Kept
Yeah.
it interesting.
It's definitely a party game.
yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I just thought it was really fun that each level had its own little thing. It would have been kind of cool if you could like determine the power-ups to each level and kind of customize it more that way. You know, because whatever level you're in, you're gonna die.
Yeah, there's
So if you could kind of like count on one thing or not count on one thing a little bit more,
Yeah,
then that wouldn't have
strategy.
sucked so much.
yeah. Well, it's kind of surprising that all the customization you had. It was kind of strange that you couldn't turn off some of the items in the game,
Yeah.
and a lot of people like
Like kick.
are the skulls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could at least turn off the devil, which would make everybody inflicted with a different status.
Yeah.
I was very upset that none of them was infected with the diarrhea effect, which is what it's called in the manual. It's literally called bomber diarrhea.
Oh,
It just
So-
automatically places bombs for you.
yeah, I remember that. So
Okay,
that,
I was gonna
I
say,
just
'cause
realized that's
diarrhea
not in
comes
this game
out-
at all, isn't it?
No, it is.
Bomb-
We just
diarrhea
somehow-
in
The worst
form
end.
We just
of
never,
bombs.
yeah, we just never
Yeah,
had that.
that's-
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty extreme.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Imagine bombs
Straight-
just flooding out of
Bombs
your
are
butthole.
straight fiber.
Yeah.
Spicy fiber.
I would say I would say I like this about as much as my other favorite, the Super NES Bomberman.
Yeah.
Sorry for pounding the table.
That's alright.
But no, I'd say I'd love it just as much. I think I like it better just because of the accessibility for more players.
Yeah.
That's what makes it more fun, more the merrier kind of thing.
Exactly.
I was actually pretty engaged in it, even though I didn't have a controller in my hand.
Yeah.
Because it had a lot going on. It's a very good party game. I'm not a Bomberman connoisseur. I know some people are probably pro classic Bomberman, where it's 2D and very stripped down to like its primary objectives. And this had a lot more extra things going on in it, but it looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say that.
I mean, you'll obviously have a chance. We'll probably. There's two game modes. There's the 8-player setting, and then there's the separate 10-player setting, which only gives you one level. And then the 8-player mode gives you 8 different stages to play on. But like,
So
Like-
for one level for 10 people.
it's just the wide
It's
screen.
just the big plane
Yeah, it's
mode.
just the wide stage.
Yeah.
It's like watching ants wrestle.
I do that on the weekend. Where can I sign up for this? I feel like I missed out.
Kick the ant pile.